Even if I talk like this, like my body's just like doo-doo-doo-doo.
Maybe that's why I'm starting to get bloated and heavy. I hope it's not all the food that I ate.
I cheated a lot last week.
I just want to get this over with.
Recently, I officially started on my fitness journey for my physical, emotional, and mental health for me and myself alone. But before I begin my story, especially if you haven't seen my 30-day fitness video, please watch it first. But if you haven't, I shall quickly state my disclaimers and reminders once again. 1. I know that I am far from overweight, hence I began this fitness journey to feel better in many aspects and to have more energy to stay productive and happy. 2. I am also guided by my performance coach, Coach Mac from Kinetic PH, and registered nutritionist and dietitian Coach Tim. 3. This video is not meant to body shame anyone. It's not a matter of my numerical weight or physical appearance either, as I understand that for a lot of people, no matter how healthy they try to be, results are just different due to several factors that may lie behind it. You name it. It's really all about having a healthy lifestyle through your thoughts and actions, such as your food intake, body movement, and mental state, and not the results that you see in the mirror or the weighing scale. But before I proceed further, your weight, appearance, or even your health state does not and should never define your value or self-worth. In other words, no matter how your body is doing inside or how your body is looking outside, you should still love yourself. I know it's easier said than done, as we all have our own set of insecurities and differences in body types and circumstances in terms of finances, health conditions, accessibility, and etc. Also, please note that different body types may have different health indicators, and as for me, given my body type and all other circumstances that could affect my body measurements, body fat percentage, and energy would be my best health indicators, which is why photos of my body are highlighted, because it works as one of the indicators of my health, especially and specifically for me and my body, together with my digital scale, measuring tape, my feelings, and my energy. So as for me, I'm on a fat loss journey because muscle is heavier than fat, and it's not a weight loss or weight gain journey, since I will be focusing on body recomposition, replacing fat with muscle. My main goal here is to share what I've learned and to help out or at least inspire people to start practicing healthier habits, taking into consideration their body type and other circumstances that they have and want to emotionally, physically, and mentally feel better, as fitness should be focused on one's overall health. But then, for a lot of people, one's physical appearance will just be another bonus. 4. Our results and timetable may differ, and that's okay. I naturally have an hourglass body type. I initially lose weight quickly but hit a plateau once my weight is back to normal. Hence, your results and timetable can turn out differently, so don't be discouraged if yours will differ from mine. 5. This video is as realistic and as honest as it can get. I am in it for the sustainable lifestyle. Even if this lasted for nearly 5 months, this fitness journey is not going to end. It has no end date or no deadline, and I want to show you all that good and lasting results and health benefits do not come from shortcuts. Before the results, let me give you a quick background about my previous fitness state. Before this entire journey, I always tried to maintain my weight in different ways, and yes, it wasn't the appearance nor the body fat percentage, but instead I would only use the number that was displayed on the weighing scale as my main indicator, which is wrong and unhealthy. I've been a dancer all my life, and I ended up regularly working out since 2019 because of an injury, so working out wasn't a problem for me anymore. It was really just all about my food intake or diet. As I've mentioned in my previous fitness video, I've tried intermittent fasting, keto diet, and I've also tried calorie counting, but in a very unhealthy manner. I would deprive myself of all unhealthy food, which eventually led me to intensely binging and then giving up or starting all over again after a few months. I just never had the right mindset or balance, which is why I've decided to work with my 2 coaches, one for my workouts and another one for my diet or nutrition, especially because I have a history of health complications related to my digestive system. Since the lockdown started, I stopped regularly working out and I'd have all sorts of unhealthy food as my full meals and midnight snacks, and without any portion control. I have to admit, this journey has physical appearance or insecurities related intentions as well, but my main motivation and reason behind this journey was just truly how I felt. It has gotten to a point where I actually felt sick, sluggish, unproductive, and I felt like a big bowl of crap. That's when I realized how unhealthy I've become, in my standards at least, since it is my one and only body after all. In short, I was unhappy. And that moment I knew I wanted to change my lifestyle despite knowing the challenges and failures ahead of me. I've failed many times before, as I also did it for the wrong reasons, but this time I had the right goals, the right mindset. I knew I had less excuses to make, though there's no gym to work out in and there's a lot of unhealthy snacks at home. I decided to make it work. I decided to make it happen. But I have to say, to add to the success rate in terms of consistency, I decided to make all of my viewers and followers as my source of accountability and my motivation by making these videos, while hoping that my new healthy decisions and actions will eventually become habits or naturally be a part of my routine after a few months of getting my motivation from all of you. I guess it's like the saying, fake it till you make it. Now the results. As you may know, I began this journey last April 30, and that was the same week I've decided to change my lifestyle. My weight was at 113.8 pounds with 27.2% body fat, 27 inches waistline, 35 inches glutes, and 19 inches mid-thighs. Throughout nearly 5 months of this fitness journey, consistent exercises but inconsistent healthy diet, again healthy, not restrictive diet, my weight, body fat percentage, waistline, and overall physical appearance would fluctuate a lot. In short, in a micro perspective, the results may not seem as good. Sometimes I'd be stuck on a huge plateau because I was too stressed or I wasn't getting enough sleep due to school or work. Other times, it would be so good that I even ended up weighing 107 pounds already and having a 24 inches waistline in the middle of the journey. It's day 79 and I just had a session and a consultation with my nutritionist and nutrition, and right now we kind of set a goal where my goal weight is 104, and he said that's gonna take around 2 weeks. I thought it would be easy because everything was going so well until it didn't. Binging all sorts of unhealthy food happened, and because of that I went back to 113 pounds, exactly where I started, and 25.5 inches waistline again towards the end of this documented journey, and it was just frustrating.
All of my hard work, it's like down the drain. Just because I kept cheating this week. I literally had a whole can of Pringles, instant noodles, and green tea ice cream and Brazo all in one day, times 7 days. It's okay to have a portion of cheat meals a day, but like in a day, everything was like cheated. I know this happens like every month, but this time I really let myself go. Like I just did whatever I wanted, and that's just, like short term, you might call that self-love for satisfying your cravings and having pleasure in food. But look at me now.
Ever since I had that weight goal, my intentions became wrong, and then I was just focusing on the numbers so much, like on the weighing scale, that I wasn't acknowledging myself for the little milestones, for my other healthy habits. Like it was all about the numbers, and it was just such an unhealthy mindset. In short, setting numerical goals didn't work out for me, as it made me focus on the weighing scale, bringing in unnecessary pressure and developing the wrong mindset, focusing on the numbers. At least now, I know myself better. However, in a macro perspective, this journey actually went realistically well. Progress may have gotten slower, but there was still progress that I am proud of. By September 16, my weight was at 109 pounds with 20.1% body fat, 23.87 inches waistline, 34 inches glutes, and 18.5 inches mid-thighs. I know that my glutes got smaller, which isn't okay for some people, but it's okay for me, and also because it's normal to lose fat everywhere, because again, you cannot spot fat reduction, but you can spot muscle growth. As you can see, I barely lost weight, especially since my weight after the first 30 days was 110 pounds, which is why I never called this a weight loss journey. Instead, specifically for me, this fitness journey is a fat loss journey, as I worked on my body recomposition, replacing fat with muscles, which is again, is heavier than fat. And also, of course, the type of fitness journey will depend on the person's goals and his or her body type. From 27.2% body fat last April, 22.2% last May, and now 20.1% in September, I'm more than happy and proud of myself. And more than just the physical appearance, I now feel so great, energetic, and much happier than the old days when all I ate were chips and instant noodles. And more than just the physical appearance, what changed? Maybe the weight? Not really. But for my strength, from not being able to do a single push-up before, I can do 10 push-ups, 3 sets now on the floor. And from a very unhealthy relationship with food, I am now happy to say that my relationship with food is so much better and less toxic nowadays. Speaking of food, my family was never really on the healthy side when it comes to food. There's a lot of chips, instant noodles, ice cream, and many more at home. Fortunately, we always had stock for food. However, this availability of calorie-dense food, or what others call junk or sweets, intensely tested my self-control, especially because I mindlessly eat a lot. As a result, I would end up eating chips and sweets dates, I ate unhealthy, then I'd see bad results, then I'd think unhealthy again. Sometimes the sadness would just come from the pressure from those who've seen my first video. This whole fitness journey video thing is honestly adding pressure that I have to look much better, or I have to look a certain way before I get to upload this video. Like that's how I'm feeling right now. But other days it would all just be me feeling bad for losing my progress. But the thing is, I never really lost my progress. One thing that I learned from this journey is that it's impossible to gain a significant amount of fat from indulging a little. It would take a period of overeating or over-exceeding your calories, stress, sleepless nights, and zero workouts, or else it's just you bloating, which is actually not fat but rather water retention. Since I took note of when I was feeling good and feeling bad, I realized that my hormones played a big role in my journey as well. It's normal to get bloated 1 to 2 weeks before your period. As my nutritionist mentioned, your weight a few days before and during your period is plus 2 pounds your real weight due to excess water retention, which causes the bloat as well. This is the reality. It really just comes and goes. In that same time of the month, I'd crave for all sorts of calorie-dense food, meaning food with barely any nutrients such as instant noodles, chips, and ice cream, basically any processed food and those with artificial sweeteners. At first, I got to control it until my results got so good. So I started to eat unhealthy food, and even when I reached 24 inches waistline, I was like, oh, okay, I need to reward myself and I need to eat something unhealthy. But the thing is, unhealthy food should not be a reward. Like, I ate Pringles, instant noodles, and ice cream all in one day for 7 days. And that's not even a reward anymore. That's like unhealthy habits already. But then right after, I just went back to my normal healthy habits and lifestyle. I didn't torture myself or anything. I didn't go on a crash diet. I literally just went forward with, okay, I was bad yesterday, I'll do better today. I will still eat what I want to eat, but I really have to portion them out. So that is what I did. Because once you punish yourself and then reach your goal, you're gonna look for a reward, and it just doesn't work that way. Life shouldn't work that way. You should be able to eat whatever you want to eat whenever, as long as it's portioned and according to what your body allows, what your mind, health, and everything allows, and your goals. I still ate whatever was available and whatever I wanted, as long as I was aware of its macros and calories, helping me figure out which foods I can largely consume and which I should not. To help me with that, I use the mobile app MyFitnessPal. For the macros, or what others call nutrients, I eat mostly protein. At first, my nutritionist recommended a certain amount of protein macros for me, which is in grams, because as you know, our bodies critically need protein to function and to build and repair muscle. However, after a while, counting my macros just wasn't sustainable. I couldn't do it. If I can barely do it when I'm out, or if I have no phone, it just won't work for me. So instead, I decided to make sure that at least 2/3 of my choice of foods for the day were more on protein than carbs or fat, unsaturated or not, and yes, I still ate those, wherein I gained knowledge about the macros of certain foods thanks to MyFitnessPal. Then to help me fight the act of binging, I would eat 1 to 2 tiny portions of calorie-dense foods, or what people call junks or sweets. However, if there are days where I don't crave for those, I don't force myself to eat them, of course. Also, drinking water and 20 minutes of waiting helps me fight the craving. If I still want it after, I just let myself eat it, but with proper portions. But only whenever I'm mindful enough to do so. While food plays the biggest role in one's health and does most of the work in losing fat, a healthy lifestyle should also involve some exercise as well. As I've said earlier, working out consistently was never really a problem for me, but it wasn't always a hobby for me either. Again, I got injured in 2018 and I needed to regularly work out to be able to get back to dancing, which eventually made exercise a part of my routine, to the point where I started to feel weird if I don't get to work out for 3 days. But of course, I have my downtime as well, especially when it's 1 to 2 weeks before my period. So I ate dinner first, and then I thought like, okay, maybe after dinner I'll be more energetic, but I'm so sleepy. My body is telling me to rest. My advice for starters, have a source of accountability or use a planner. Personally, I love using a physical planner as it helps me make sure that I work out at least 4 times a week. If I only ended up working out 3 times a week, I would make sure that I work out at least 5 times a week after. But then again, this doesn't have to be the same way for everyone. Feel free to go at your own pace, according to your own time, strength, and energy. For accountability, get a partner until you get used to it. During the first 30 days, I had my workout buddies, which helped me stay consistent. In fact, I worked out at 7 a.m. with my coach and then 4 p.m. with my friend. But then after a month, my 4 p.m. friend got her own online coach, so I ended up working out less in the afternoon since I was alone. Then I tried getting new workout buddies, which eventually stopped as well since my online classes, Shopee live streams, and dance classes were happening all at once. In short, I went back to working out once a day. But this September, for 2 weeks, since my responsibilities have toned down, I've gotten back to working out twice a day without any buddies, since I've already made it into a routine. meaning I've set a specific time for them too. Strengthening workouts once I wake up and then cardio exercises before dinner time, which by the way, I began using jump ropes on the last week of this documented journey, which is pretty effective in fat loss, I'd say. Plus, of course, the other efforts that I've been doing. To keep it consistent or sustainable, I made sure to set the time that works for my lifestyle since I noticed that my body doesn't feel as strong in the afternoon. I moved the exercises with weights to the morning. And since I need the afternoon sun for my content creating, I do my cardio once the sun is down. But between those efforts and routines, I've had my fair share of bad or busy days too. I was supposed to do cardio outside, but my head hurts. If there's one thing that I learned from my previous coach, his name is Coach Do, also from Kineticor, but he transferred. If there's one thing that I learned from him, it's that you always have to listen to your body. If your body feels tired, if it doesn't feel like working out, then don't work out. There's always the day after. Just always remember to get back on track and don't overwork yourself at the same time. It was either I wasn't feeling well physically, emotionally, or mentally, or I was just too busy for it. Example, school's hell week, and that's okay. It's all normal. Just get back to your old routine afterwards whenever you're ready. Again, no punishments whatsoever. You know, this documented fitness journey of mine, whether it's documented or not, it's honestly been such a roller coaster ride. There were times where I'd be so happy about my progress, while there are other days where I'd be so sad and disappointed with myself for having this lack of self-discipline and self-control. But even though I'm still very, very happy that I went through it, I continued because I learned so much, and right now I have the right mindset, the right goals, the right people around me, and I'm doing it with realistic and sustainable methods. So that makes me super happy. And just from learning from all of these experiences and then realizing maybe I can inspire and share with you guys some of the tips that I have learned along the way, it means so much to me. It feels like I have a greater purpose, so I hope it does. And also, no pressure with the influence. Like, just do it whenever you're truly ready, and it doesn't have to be about fitness. As long as it's a step towards a healthier habit, no matter how small your change is going to be, a small difference can go a really, really long way. So I hope you guys can get started on that, whether it's stopping a vice or waking up early in the morning, drinking more water in a day. I really hope that you can do it, and I know that we're not on the exact same boat, but we are all going through our own struggles, and whether it's a fitness journey struggle or not, or something else, know that I am an Instagram DM away. I try to reply as much as I can and as early as I can. But if you just need some extra motivation for your day, whatever your work will be or your workout will be, just remember that today's efforts are tomorrow's results. If you reached this point, thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for the next episode where I talk about how to have a healthier relationship with food.